The last couple of hours have seen a dramatic drop in temperatures. The Arctic air has arrived. How long it stays in the Weather Authority forecast.
A car runs into a local apartment building, causing major damage. The search is still underway for the suspect who was gunned down, the United Healthcare CEO, and new clues are emerging from the weapon used. And a new playground might replace the one that burned and severely damaged the Big Mac Bridge as we know it. Local 12 News live at noon starts now.
Breaking news alerts and the Weather Authority forecast. This is Local 12 News.
Afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Liz Bonis here on Local 12 News live at noon, and it is getting really cold outside. Here with what's going on out there is meteorologist Paul Poteet. Let's start with you.
If nothing else, we've got some blue sky to look at today. Three things to talk about for Thursday as far as the weather goes. You may have gotten up with the weather in the middle of the night, kind of like in the summertime or the spring when a thunderstorm rolls through. That was no thunderstorm. That was the Arctic cold front, with CVG reporting a peak wind gust of 59 miles an hour. That happened just after 12:30 this morning. And the lowest temperature came several hours later, down to 16 degrees at the International Airport. So that's the fourth time since last Saturday morning that we've been down in the teens. Three of those times have been 16 degrees. That's been the floor so far. It hasn't gotten any colder than that. Lowest wind chill this morning at CVG was 0. And for further proof of when that cold front went through, you can take the hourly temperatures. Midnight, still 42 degrees. Down to 30 by the next hour, and then it just kept on falling through the teens in the morning. It's going to be slow to go to get back up this afternoon into the mid-20s. Plenty of sunshine expected if you're going to be out this evening. We fall into the low 20s and down to 20 degrees pretty quickly. And tomorrow morning, same old, back into the teens. When we get some temperature recovery coming up later this half hour.
Thank you very much, Paul. A manhunt now underway after the CEO of United Healthcare was gunned down. Police released these images showing the gunman in a dark hooded jacket and wearing a mask. The suspect was last seen escaping into Central Park on a bicycle. Police say there was writing on the shell casings that was used in the shooting. The words delay, deny, defend are on those. Police are offering a reward now for information leading to an arrest.
No father, no mother should have to endure what happened today.
Other news now, 2 kindergarten students are in extremely critical condition after a school shooting. The boys ages 5 and 6 attend a small Seventh-day Adventist school. It's about 70 miles north of Sacramento. The apparent gunman took his own life after yesterday's shooting. Investigators do not believe that he knew the boys. They say he met with an administrator earlier in the day to discuss enrolling a family member. It is not clear yet if that was just a ruse to get on campus, but the Butte County Sheriff Department saying that the school's religious affiliation might have motivated the violence. The violence was witnessed by other children.
You heard some gunshots?
I did. I also saw the shooter go across a window, like pacing back and forth, and then we were running to the gym.
Now, a California state trooper arrived at the Feather River Adventist School in Oroville 2 minutes after the call was made to 911. At that point, he discovered the gunman dead, laying next to a handgun. The school has just 35 students. Turning now to politics as we look live at the White House. Another round of picks to fill the West Wing coming in this week as President-elect Donald Trump names his nominees for Social Security and the Small Business Administration. It comes as there is new scrutiny, however, around the Secretary of Defense nominee, Pete Hegseth, along with the word that Trump could replace him with another well-known Republican. Hegseth is on Capitol Hill, vowing he won't give up despite new accusations of financial mismanagement at 2 veteran nonprofit groups, along with excessive drinking.
I spoke to the president-elect this morning. He said, keep going, keep fighting. Behind you all the way.
So you're in this all the way?
Why would I back down? I've always been a fighter.
Still, President-elect Donald Trump is said to be floating a swap on his choice for Secretary of Defense, now considering Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. This despite past jabs between the two.
And they put on Ron DeSanctimonious, who came in a boring second. Now, we don't talk about him too much because over here he's polling at 4%.
Leadership is not about entertainment. Leadership is not about building a brand.
For other posts, the president-elect has chosen one of his strong supporters, former Georgia Senator Kelly Loeffler, to head the Small Business Administration.
America is a divided country with serious differences, but it is still the greatest country on earth.
And on Truth Social, President-elect Donald Trump announced Frank Bisignato to lead the Social Security Administration. The financial services company CEO previously worked at J.P. Morgan Chase and Citigroup. And billionaire entrepreneur Jared Isaacman, a veteran private astronaut with strong ties to Elon Musk, has now been picked to serve as NASA's next administrator. And President-elect Trump has chosen former Congressman Billy Long to be commissioner of the IRS. Want to turn now to local news. A car runs into an apartment building. Police and firefighters were called to the Savannah Gardens apartments about 7:20 this morning. Driver was coming home from work and the gas pedal got stuck. Driver was taken to the hospital for a minor leg injury. We are told that no one else was hurt. A vote will be held on whether or not to rebuild a local playground. That play set that was under the Daniel Carter Beard Bridge is suspected of fueling a major fire that then engulfed the bridge. City Councilman Jeff Kremerding has moved to have city administrators prepare a report on the options for a new playground at Sawyer Point. City Council will likely vote on that next week. Tonight at 6 on Local 12 News, billions of opioid settlement dollars are available for states to fight the national epidemic. But should we spend it all now on treatment or hold dollars back and invest in future generations?
There are no pros for save for later. We're still in an active crisis right now, so it makes sense to spend the money as quickly and as effectively as possible on the things that we know work.
We turn the spotlight on the argument over how to spend all that cash. Treatment versus prevention. Local 12 investigates tonight at 6. A nativity scene at a local church is coming to life for the Christmas season. The courtyard next to St. Francis Seraph Church in Over the Rhine set up its yearly nativity scene. Here you can see they have live donkeys, goats, and sheep. It's open to the public, and this tradition began back in 2008 as a way to celebrate the church's 150th anniversary. Children from the neighborhood love it, but so do the visitors who stop by each year.
I think our ultimate hope is that somehow we make the birth of Jesus a lot more real, that it becomes alive for people. It's not just something that happened 2,000 years ago, but it's something that affects our life today. And hopefully something like this will help to inspire people to have that experience.
Now, there are also nativity scenes inside the church. The Southern Gateway Men's Chorus scheduled to perform at St. Francis Seraph Saturday night at 7. A popular superheroes memorabilia is going on the auction block. And rapper Jay-Z releasing his very own new coffee table book. Local 12 News live at noon will return right after this. And we remind you, you can still watch Local 12 News. Just scan this QR code. It sets you up for viewing through local12.com, our free app, as well as the News On app. Don't ever leave home without Local 12. Good afternoon once again. More people are now 401k millionaires. Fidelity says the number of accounts with balances topping $1 million increased by 9.5% in the third quarter. And the 401k provider says it's not just because of market gains. There's also been a strong savings rate. Despite the rise in 401k millionaires, many people are far below that number. Fidelity says the average balance for all participant accounts is at a record high of just over $132,000. The median balance was lower at just over $30,000. Bitcoin has topped $100,000 for the first time. The digital currency has more than doubled in value this year and is up about 45% in the 4 weeks since President-elect Donald Trump's election victory. Consumer confidence is growing across the U.S. as well in the 3 weeks since the election. This according to a new Gallup poll. Americans are feeling better about the economy. The National News Desk's Jeff Harris explains what's driving this change.
I'm told confidence is improving in part because of the presidential election results. Many Americans are encouraged about where the U.S. is headed under a second Trump term, but others don't necessarily feel the same way.
Amy Kennedy, a mother of 4 living in Pennsylvania, tells us she understands why Americans are feeling more confident about the economy.
As far as investments and making money on the stock market, I think people that get their money that way are going to, feel pretty positive about it.
But for her, confidence isn't growing, in part because she's an educator at a state university.
And we're very dependent on the Department of Education to give Pell Grants.
But also because one of her sons has special needs, and she worries about cuts to the supplemental security income they receive.
He'll have to go to an adult program, and they are very expensive.
According to a new Gallup poll, many Americans are feeling more confident about the economy following the presidential election, up 9 points since last month. An increase, Nicholas Economides, an economics expert, tells us can likely be explained in a few ways.
It's because of a change in government. People feel more euphoric.
And he says Americans are likely feeling optimistic about the promises the incoming Trump administration has made.
That the various economic issues that people thought were affecting them adversely during the last 4 years are going to be taken away.
But for Kennedy, the worry outweighs the hope.
It comes with the potential for some very difficult times.
Now, the poll looked at a few other things as well, including how Congress is doing, which, as you can see, went up 3 points there. But President Biden's approval rating went down 4 points, along with overall satisfaction of the country. I'm Jeff Harris reporting from Washington.
Tomorrow's Mega Millions jackpot is now the 10th largest in the game's history. We'll tell you about it coming up on Local 12 News live at noon. Good afternoon once again. A well-known popular rapper releasing a new project. Soon you'll be able to have an exhibit dedicated to Jay-Z right in your living room. The Book of Hov, a tribute to Jay-Z, is now a coffee table book. The book is named after a Brooklyn exhibit honoring the artist. It chronicles the rapper's career with unseen photos, album and magazine covers, and concert images as well. The book comes in 3 editions ranging from $120 to $2,000. Superhero Batman memorabilia items are on the auction block. The auction focuses on Batman in the movies and includes some rare items as well, such as a stunt batsuit. Other items include Riddler's outfit from Batman Forever and Two-Face's from the costume from The Dark Knight, as well as Harley Quinn costumes. They're also up for auction. The auction begins tomorrow, and you can see all the items and even place a bid at propstore.com. The Mega Millions jackpot is now the 10th largest in the game's history. The prize is now up to $579 million. The winning ticket was sold in Florida last year. The drawing for the 10th largest jackpot in Mega Millions history happens tomorrow. Well, we hope that we'll see a little more sun happening tomorrow as well. Meteorologist Paul Poteet will tell us what's coming up in our 7-day forecast, including what's going on this weekend on Local 12 News live at noon.
From Local 12, the Weather Authority, this is Paul Poteet's hour-by-hour forecast.
And good afternoon again. How it started. The cold front came through with a bang in the middle of the night just after 12:30 this morning. 59-mile-an-hour wind gust. Here you see the Arctic air arrival. This goes back to, say about 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. We still had readings into the 40s, and that pink line just keeps creeping. And by the end of the morning, it was down around Nashville, Tennessee. Memphis had a wind chill below freezing by early this morning. So a nice invasion of Arctic air. What did it mean to low temperatures around the area? It got down to 16 in Middletown, 12 in Batesville. Our official morning low 16, and as I said earlier this half hour, That's the third time we've been down to 16 degrees in the last week. The fourth time overall we've been in the teens. 17 this morning in Hamilton and in Wilmington. Here's the good news as far as weekend plans. The temperatures are headed up. 41 on Saturday, 52 on Sunday. Now Saturday morning will still be pretty chilly with a low temperature around 20, but 32 on Sunday morning. Lots of sunshine actually during the daytime hours both days. No big breezes either one of those days. We will start to see some showers. That'll come as we get into Sunday night going into Monday. There you see some nice clear weather for Saturday on Futurecast. Same thing, at least for the first part of Sunday into the morning and the midday. The clouds may start to increase into the afternoon. And so after about, say, 9 or 10 o'clock Sunday night, we get a chance of showers in here. It's going to be a big area of low pressure down to the southwest. And Monday morning, maybe not so great, but temperatures will be mild. That's going to be just plain rain. So there's no question of what kind of precipitation. It should begin to diminish into the afternoon, but we may see low pressure reform on Tuesday. So we'd have another shot at showers then, and fairly dry weather would follow after that. So how much rainfall out of all of that? Could be a pretty good amount over the next, say, week or so. This is a 10-day estimate of rainfall, and most of the estimates are over an inch through that period of time. There's another computer model that has it closer to about maybe a half or 3/4 of an inch. So take the average, the possibility is there for an inch of precipitation. When you see the upper air charts looking like this, as they did this morning, you see that big trough into the east. That's generally going to reflect below normal temperatures, but there is a little change that's brewing for the very first part of next week, where we got a nice ridge coming up over us. That translates into temperatures that will be into, at least for a day or two, the 50s around here. The rest of this afternoon, the breeze will continue to let up a little bit. 27 for the high, down to 14 tonight. Sunny, cold, but not as windy. Tomorrow, high of 32. And then there you see a pretty pleasant weekend for December, and some mild air Monday along with some rain chances. And full coverage continues online at local12.com/weather. We got more news coming up next.
We want to welcome you back and remind you that Crisis in the Classroom, we are committed to helping schools identify problems and find solutions. If there's a concern in your district, please bring it to our Local 12 Chelsea SIC. You can leave a tip at 513-223-3029, email Local 12 Classroom Tips at Gmail, or use Chelsea's Facebook page. Today is National Repeal Day. It marks the end of Prohibition 91 years ago. The 18th Amendment ushered in Prohibition in 1920 by banning the manufacture, transportation, and sale of alcohol. It was the result of a rise in opinion that alcohol was causing problems in society. Prohibition went into effect on December 5th, 1933. And scientists are marveling over the world's oldest known wild bird and her brand new egg. A 74-year-old albatross named Wisdom was spotted at an island sanctuary in Hawaii with the egg and a new partner. It's Wisdom's first known egg in 4 years. A team of wildlife biologists are optimistic that the egg will hatch and that Wisdom is fit enough to raise another chick. Typical lifespan for an albatross is between 12 and 40 years. U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services estimate that Wisdom has mothered as many as 30 chicks in her lifetime. Well, that's quite a mommy. Hey, we want to thank you for sharing your midday with us today. It's chilly outside. We hope you will tune in on Local 12 News today at 4. Got some great holiday music for you with a concert coming up.